All right, I think I'm online. Okay, sorry for the delays, everybody. Welcome to this week's TDU live session. This is Mike Tanzella with Jasmine Katatakarn, about 3 feet away to my right, giving me tech support on how to fix this. Hi. All right, we're good to go. Okay, so this week we got 2 topics we're going to cover. The first one is we're going to talk about a new asset that's available for TDU students, and the second is I'm going to be showing you guys an interview I did with Alwyn Hunt. Alwyn is an industry veteran. He's worked at Weta, he worked at Animal Logic, he worked at Sony Picture Imageworks, Sony Animation too, I think. And he has started a website called The Rookies that is specifically designed for people who are looking to crack their way into our industry. It's a place for them to post their work, to enter some contests, to do awesome good stuff. So first things first, I do want to present to you guys and talk to you guys a little bit about the newest asset. And the newest asset was donated to us by Terrence Teron Wilson. He is an artist that I found online when I was just doing some research. And what he has provided for us is, bring this up here. When I saw this project, I was just kind of blown away by it. It's just a little Lego record store, and I reached out to him and we talked about the project, and he was totally on board with letting our students play around with it and relight it. So he created it in Blender. So what I did was I went into Maya and I just created this here, and you can see we've got the individual assets. And I've just restructured everything. So we've got each individual character here. You can see we've got all of the objects in under this all setting. Over here, we've got the entire room. We've got the people. We've got the records, and we've got all the wall objects. Inside each person, we have their head, waist, arms, torso, legs, all that good stuff. And so it's a very clean asset. It's very simple. It renders very quickly. I went ahead and applied some RenderMan shaders to all the objects in order to create that image that you all have there. But it's a lot of fun. And I'm also putting together a demo of how to do the depth of field in this. So if you look at the setup, we've got our render cam here. And we have a depth of field setting, and you can see that Maya now allows you to kind of pre-visualize the depth of field. And so I will show you how to do 2 different types of depth of field in RenderMan, and I should have that video up for you in the next couple of days. So we're extremely excited to have that. The asset is available to TDU students. It's in the environment lighting course, and all you have to do is log in, and it should be right there. Let me show you all where that's at again. You can see it right in here. It's just down here by the, we got the record store along with the swimming pool, Lamborghini, the Capitol building, and now this guy here. So you just need to do is click. We've got Maya files, FBX, OBJ. I've got the Maya file both with the RenderMan shaders and with default Maya shaders if you decide to use Arnold or another render engine like V-Ray. So that's it. That's our first setup. We're extremely excited. Like I said, I can't wait to see what you guys, how you guys behave and what you guys do with this thing. It's going to be absolutely amazing. But for now, I want to go ahead and show you the interview that we did with, let's go ahead and do this here, with Alwyn Hunt. So Alwyn is like, and I'll just, so the reason why we like to have our, normally we like to do our interviews live on this format, but unfortunately, he lives in Adelaide, Australia, which is a very difficult time zone to pair up with New York. We're on opposite ends of the world. And so I went ahead and thought it'd be better if I stayed up very late one night and did a recording of an interview with him. And now we're just going to go ahead and stream that here. And so go ahead. This is the first time we're going to be showing a video inside this window. So if you guys can't hear the audio or something's a little buggy, just let me know. My face is going to disappear, but I'm going to stay right here and watch this guy. But yeah, so we'll take it away from here. So this is Al. All right, hello everyone, and welcome to this week's TDU live session. This week we are very proud to welcome in Alwyn Hunt. Alwyn is the co-founder of The Rookies. The Rookies is a platform to help digital artists get discovered without having to compete with professionals for attention. Their passion is to help out up-and-coming artists and turn their passion for their creative
creative media into a successful career. Prior to the Rookies, Alwyn worked at MPC, Sony Picture Imageworks, Double Negative, Rising Sun, and Weta as a surfacing and look dev artist. So Alwyn Hunt, welcome to TDU.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having us, Michael.
Absolutely. So can you tell us a little bit about where you came from? Like, tell us a little bit about your upbringing and whether or not you were interested in art as a kid?
Yeah, so I mean, I'm originally born in New Zealand. I currently live in Australia now, but I sort of grew up in a very rural part of New Zealand where there wasn't a lot of opportunities, particularly in sort of computer graphics. It really was pretty basic. But I knew sort of pretty much as soon as I finished school, I had to leave and sort of travel. And yeah, initially when I left school, I actually trained as a chef. So because CG wasn't even around at the time, it was kind of early days for computers. So that industry wasn't even on my radar. So I did a little bit of cooking at home and then found myself working as a kitchen hand and managed to get into a chefing job and then got an apprenticeship in a big hotel and sort of did that career for almost 8 years, actually. I travelled over to London and was working with the likes of Gordon Ramsay and Marco Pierre White, sort of 3 Michelin star restaurants and etc. So it was for me the creative process behind food was more about the art. At the time, I loved cooking food, but then I specialised in patisserie and got into food sculptures, and it was always about the artwork for me. And then, after I sort of had travelled doing that profession, I came back to Australia and just sort of realised that I'd peaked in that career and sort of just, felt that I needed to explore this whole art side of things. So I pretty much gave up the cooking and chefing and went back and studied fine arts for a couple of years. I really didn't know where that was taking me. And I just thought, you know what, I was able to do the cooking on the weekends to support myself, but I loved it. That I was always kind of doing figure drawing classes, even when I was chefing and stuff like that. There was always that little bit of interest. And then, from that, I sort of got into, photography, and that's when Photoshop was coming about. And then from that was kind of the early beginnings of when computers and all the rest of it. So that's when I sort of started seeing the CG stuff, and that's when I seen some documentaries on TV about that and the sort of early days of Toy Story and how that all came about. When I looked at that, I knew that that's what I wanted to do. So I ended up in Sydney and I started studying a course for 3 years, which was an advanced diploma in computer graphics at the time. So that was, learning 3D Studio Max and Adobe Flash and Dreamweaver, and it was all these, lots of different softwares, but, you're really the jack of all trades, but the master of none. And it was expensive, back in the day, I had to borrow the money off my flatmate at the time, and just, it was a two-year degree or whatever it was. And to be honest, when I came out of it, I had nothing, I had nothing for my demo reel. I sort of fudged my way through the courses and just managed to kind of survive this thing, but really I didn't have a demo reel. And, I sort of look back now and it's funny because that was almost 20 years ago, and I see that same formula of universities and training which are making the same mistakes that they are today. It was through what we talked about before was, sometimes lecturers that really substandard or below par or just not qualified to be teaching. And back in the day, these guys were sort of looking in the books and coming to class and teaching us, just regurgitating stuff. So we didn't really learn a lot. But because I'd already been through an industry and I knew what I had to do to get into another industry, and that was just perseverance, cold calling, just getting that one little clip on my demo reel, that's, and in Australia at that time, like, jobs were few and far between, particularly in visual effects.
Sure.
They had Animal Logic, who were the company that behind Happy Feet and all the rest of it. At the time, they were doing sort of Matrix. They had Farscape, a sci-fi series, and all the rest of it. And there was a couple of post-production studios, but it was pretty slim pickings. So, for me, it was just, I ended up getting some bullshit job in a telecommunications company as a creative artistic director or something for Weird and all. But it was a post-production studio down the road, right? So I would go there after work every day and just just knock on the door and say, hey, would you mind if I come in and just watch what you were doing? So I knew if I kept persisting, they would eventually give me some work, and that's kind of how it eventuated.
Do you think that without your past in the food industry, driving you and kind of teaching you how that you needed like this gritty approach to it, do you think you would have had that mindset? Or do you think you would have been as successful getting there without that past?
It's tough, like even when I was going through that process the second time around and like calling studios and, because the thing for them is that, they're taking a massive risk by giving you a workstation, bringing you in, and if you're not able to perform, like that really is a big risk, right? So it was tough. I'll not lie to you. It was really tough, and there was times where I thought, you know what, this is a lot tougher than what it should be.
Sure.
But then, finally, just through one little gig, once you get that one little, it's just that first building block, right?
Yeah.
And then you've got, oh my God, I've got a little bit of a job, and you've got something to work with, and then you can go to the next place and just keep building, and then, slowly you get there. I think, just because of my, and it's people's personalities. I think, people nowadays would probably give up a lot earlier. I think, this generation expects a lot more than what my generation did. We used to have to work hard, even as kids, even at school. Like there was a set core values that were installed in me even at an early age.
Mm-hmm.
I see, a lot of students now that kind of come in and there's a big expectation that they, if they pay money for this course, they're going to get the job at Pixar, and they're going to get a job here, but the reality is that that's not the case. So there needs to be, that conditioning to go, hey, this is the reality of the situation. When you finish, this might not happen for you. So then you've got to work out, how do I make it happen for myself, right? And if your demo reel is not up to par right from day one, then you're going to struggle. So you need to work out how to bring that demo reel up to scratch pretty quickly. And you're going to spend a lot of time going back online and self-teaching yourself, because a lot of the courses are letting students down nowadays. And, so
no, it's a good
true. Question.
Yeah, I know from my personal experience, when I came, when I studied photography as an undergrad, and I got decent grades. I worked hard in school. I thought, everything would just easily transition into a career, and then you graduate, and then you get out there and you're like, oh wait, no, I have to, you have this set because you've been in school for 20 years or whatever, you think that as long as you're getting good grades, you're doing the right things and you're moving along, and then you get in the industry and you get out in the world and you think like, no, I need to prove to somebody that I'm worthy of it. And you're just not ready for that, because you thought you gave yourself this false sense of hope because you were in this bubble of doing well in the university, and you didn't realize that you need to transition that to a career. So I can definitely relate to people who have been through that. It's a tough transition.
I think it's, that, like you said, it's a bubble, right? Yeah. And I think, we're going to talk about the rookies in a minute, but the rookies is trying to take people out of that bubble and going, okay, this rookie awards is a global competition. It's kind of like, and for us, it's not even about the stuff that we organize with the prizes and the scholarships and all that sort of stuff. The most important thing for us when we're talking to students is about getting your work out there and out of that classroom bubble that we're talking about, and out of that, out of your city. It's going, the industry is global. If you're going to be applying for jobs at Blur Studio or Blue Sky or ILM or wherever it is, you're competing with the best students in the world for these positions. And it's even tougher because you're a junior, you're entry level, right? So they have got queues of people lining up to get into these places. So you need to figure out what's going to set you apart. Mm-hmm. So the Rookie Awards is kind of giving people that opportunity to actually benchmark themselves against the best students in the world, right? So it's giving them the confidence to get their work up online. It's going, okay, cool, I'm really serious about this, because I know during this time the Rookie Awards is running, there's all these recruiters, all these studios looking at student work. So you're getting your work out there, right? It doesn't matter whether you're first year, second year, third year. It's just starting to build that confidence of building your portfolio. There's places like ArtStation, and there's all these other sort of portfolio sites out there. But when you look at them, it's all very industry professional and lots of amazing work. Even me and probably you as well look at it and go, holy shit, that's amazing, right? So from a student perspective, you kind of you put your portfolio out there, but it just gets drowned in all this amazing work. So it's kind of like the Rookies is a platform where you're able to create your portfolio, but you're surrounded by your peers, right? So you're kind of benchmarking yourself against other students from around the world.
That's great. So can you talk a little bit about how you transitioned or how the Rookies kind of came into being? Like, what was your rise into doing that? Because you were one of the co-founders, correct?
Yeah, correct. So myself and Andrew McDonald, Andrew's based in Singapore, so we actually studied together back in the day. So we ended up, just on that whole chefing thing, and then I went back to Sydney, got into the industry. Andrew went to London. He started at MPC, like when it was kind of back in the day when the visual effects industry in London was just starting to kick off. It was they got some big projects with Harry Potter and
so this was probably like 2007, 2000, right around there.
Yeah, I think it was somewhere around there. It was kind of like at the cusp of it. They sort of. And it was and then there was a lot of overseas talent coming back to London. I was based in Toronto at the time, so after I sort of got those gigs, I ended up at Animal Logic, and then once you get that ball rolling and you get those a couple of big companies under your belt, you're sort of off and running. So I ended up in Toronto, and then Andrew called up and said, "Hey, look, there's a position at MPC." So I ended up going back to London in this new industry, but working at MPC. But while we were working there, we got approached by one of the universities in the UK, and they said, "Hey, would you guys mind actually?" They've set up a blog, give some feedback to students. Like like what you're doing now with the lighting stuff, right? It's kind of like trying to bridge that gap. Yeah. So this was, almost 10 years ago. The same problem of bridging the gap between education and industry. So we set up a business that was called CG Coach back in the day. So we worked with this university and we kind of created this platform. It's the same thing, right? So we were getting final year students. They would come onto the platform. We had industry mentors, and it was all web-based. It was all annotations. We were critiquing, and it was pretty cool, like the whole thing that we'd set up. But it was from those sort of early days, and then CG Coach turned into CG Student Awards, and then we were like, because we wanted to create a platform for actually benchmarking students, and there was also a lot of schools out there saying, "Oh, we're the best school in the world for visual effects," and it was based off maybe a short film that somebody had entered in and done well. Yeah. So we wanted to actually create this platform that was actually looking at students' work and going, actually, we think that this school's doing the best work based off the quality of the final year students, right?
Sure. Yeah.
So that was 9 years ago. So the Rookies has kind of morphed and changed and pivoted a few times into what it is today.
That's great. And I got clued into the Rookies because of the Rookie Awards that you mentioned before. Can you talk about that process? And it was mostly because of like the hybrids and some of the other projects that I became aware of in the last year or two that have just been beautiful. And then it was like one of the awards that showed up, and I was kind of looked into it a little bit. And so can you talk about the history of the awards and that process a little bit?
Yeah, so the Rookie Awards was always the sort of the backbone of it. So this year what we did was we were like, because what traditionally happened was we get like thousands of entries from around the world, entering into the Rookie Awards. And then, we were sort of trying to help people on that journey. And then at the end of it, we would, give away the scholarships and the internships and all this sort of stuff, and then clean everybody off the system and get ready for the next year, right? So a lot of people would set up their portfolios, and we're getting lots of great feedback, and everything was targeted towards, this demographic. So we decided, we need to be able to build the platform out. So we keep the Rookie Awards, and then have a portfolio area. So the Rookie Award, the Rookies, if I go back to the Rookies, is essentially taking people on that journey. So if you come on the Rookies platform, you can be a debut, a player, a contender, or a rookie. So like we talked about, professionals aren't actually welcome on the site. So you come in at your level and you go, I'm just starting out. I want to get into visual effects. I'm a debut. So all that content is targeted towards them. So So the Rookie Award sits at the top, and that's kind of the pinnacle. So once you've kind of come through and you're trained up and you're building a portfolio, then you can enter into the Rookie Awards.
Mm-hmm.
But the Rookie Awards itself is actually a contest platform.
Mm-hmm.
So we can create bespoke contests underneath that. So with these new contests, what we're creating is contests that will help people build their portfolio,
mm-hmm.
right? So we're partnering up with strategic sort of prize partners, getting briefs, getting industry briefs, and it could be from Blue Sky going, hey, here's a lighting test that we want you to do. Run it on the Rookies platform.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the prize. It's an internship or something like that, right?
Yeah.
So it's just bespoke to certain companies. So the Rookie Awards is running. It's currently running. So it started in March. It runs from March right through until June. So you've got that window of opportunity. All you need is essentially your portfolio of work. Enter images. It's got a beautiful portfolio builder. You can upload your demo reel or videos.
Mm-hmm.
You can Sketchfab. There's all different sorts of areas that you can upload work with, and then you can enter into the different contests. So inside that, you've got visual effects, you've got 3D animation. You can apply for the scholarships. You can apply for the internships.
Mm-hmm.
It's all when you come on, the onboarding process is really just selecting which contest you want to enter into. And then it's two sections, so people can enter into the contest, or they can create their portfolio. So you can do the portfolio, and that's kind of, you can do work in progress and show your progress in work, all that sort of stuff. So you're really building your portfolio there, and then you can enter into the Rookie Awards. It's separate from your portfolio. So that's just something important just to remember for students that are wanting to enter.
No, that's great. And like I said, the one thing I remember when I first saw you guys and I saw this, it was like, enter this, and one of the prizes is an internship. And I was like, there's no way that's true. That's too good of a prize. That's crazy. And then I reached out to you guys, and I found out that yes, in fact, you can. Companies do that they will award an internship based on. Yeah. And I was like,
so that's kind of our background is in the industry, right? Yeah. So we've got really good support with the industry. If you look at our judging panel, I think we have over 120 judges of the creme de la creme.
Yeah, and really great. Company, like you said, like Autodesk is behind you, like a lot, like all the big software companies, some like Blur. You got some major studios. I don't want to say any names because I messed them up. You guys have some major studios. You have some major software companies behind you. I was blown away by it, and I was like, that's when I was like, I need to get in touch with you guys. I need TDU students to realize that. Realize this platform is out there.
The judging panel, like it's when you're getting your work seen by these guys, and we've had cases where a judge will reach out to us and go, hey man, who's done this entry? This guy's amazing. I want to get him in front of. Yeah. So it's like you've got 120 judges from all studios from all around the world, gaming, design, top VFX, you name it, they're all on there, right? They're all looking at your work. Yeah. So it's that sort of exposure where you're like, dude, that's the foot in the door, right? And it's even if you're a first year and you're showing your progress, and you can enter in as many times as you want, until you sort of get into the industry. So recruiters will track your work on a year-by-year basis, right? So it's like, you should never think, I'm the first year, maybe I won't do it this year or whatever. There's always opportunities there. And we've got so many success stories of people that have sort of come from nowhere and thought they did not have a chance at anything, and now they're working at the top studios in the world.
Yeah, I can safely say that's pretty much true of everybody that I work with. That I got into this not thinking I had a chance at success. It was like, you know what, but I'm going to go for it. And then, things happen, and you just keep, it's like this blind arrogance, confidence thing that I think that we all have. It's like, you know what, I made this thing. It's not very good, but I'll keep making it, and I'll keep making it. And slowly things get better, and slowly things start to fall into place. So I think, like I said, I think your guys' platform is amazing. I think the work that you're doing is really incredible. And I thank you for the time to talking to us. If you're good, I'm going to move on into our rapid fire questions here for you. And the first one that I like to ask anyone who's worked in the industry for a while is, so you worked on some really cool projects. You worked on the Hobbit films, Wolverine, Thor, Game of Thrones, Alice in Wonderland. But I always know that artists have personal, like a single project, projects that they really feel passionately about, and ones that they really love. Are there any projects that you've worked on in your time in the industry that really meant something to you, was special to you?
Yeah, so for me as a text writer, so I sort of specialized in characters and creatures.
Mhm.
So if you start out as a text writer, you would normally be doing basic props and all the rest of it. And then once you sort of move the levels and people get the confidence, then you can start, texturing creatures and characters.
Mhm.
So for me, actually, one of the films that you didn't list on there was John Carter of Mars.
Yes.
And I was lead texture artist on that, and it was just because of the uniqueness of the characters and the creatures and stuff on that. Like that was a really fun project, and it's also as you know, it's like the team, right? It's a really small industry, and once you worked in it for a few years, you'll find that people start selecting the projects that they want to work on based on who's also working on it and all that sort of stuff as well. So for me, John Carter of Mars was, even though it bombed at the box office and all the rest of it, and it doesn't matter. Like it's like what gave me the most joy, and it was like doing some really cool character stuff was the most fun for me.
That's why I love asking that question, because I think a lot of students would expect us to say, like, I think my favorite movie that I worked on was probably financially the worst film I worked on, but it's like I was passionate about it and it was great, and the visuals that came out of it, because it's like it's what we do, man. It's what gets us excited. All right, so rapid fire time. Okay, so what was your favorite film as a child?
Sounds a bit cliche, but for me, it was definitely Star Wars, because I was at that age where I had not seen anything like that. You know, when you're walking into the cinema and you got these massive space scenes and all the like, it had not been seen before, and I remember just my jaw dropping, just going, oh my god, this is amazing, right? And so for impact, that definitely for me was, as a kid, one of the ones that I fondly remember.
There's
I still look forward to it. And we're talking how we've got kids and stuff now. It's like I just so want my kids to get to that age, and now they are, that I go, here's Star Wars, and they sort of look at me and they're like,
I know.
And that's amazing.
Well, because like the context changes, right? Like Star Wars was amazing. Like there's a few movies that came out, like Star Wars or like a Jurassic Park or like Tron, that came out at a time when no one's ever seen anything like that before. Toy Story too. And it's like, and you're never going to be able to repeat that context, because it launched a thing, and now it's like, now there's space battle movies all over the place, but like to see it for the first time is special.
I did a studio tour of Ireland the other week, actually. I was across the GDC, and I went to, I managed to get a tour of ILM and San Fran there, and it was, dude, I walked through and you just forget how many films I've worked on, and you're like, oh my god, it's like they were the pioneers. It was amazing.
Yeah, you forget what groundbreaking stuff that is. Okay, so what sound or noise do you love or hate?
Sound or noise that I love or hate? I'm a surfer, so I love anything to sort of do with the ocean and waves breaking and stuff like that. It might sound a bit sort of hippy-dippy, but I'm a water person, so I love that. Good. Noises I hate, probably things like cats screaming in the night and stuff like that.
Well, hopefully that doesn't happen too much for you. What profession other than your own would you like to try?
As a kid, I always wanted to be a fighter pilot.
Oh, cool.
That was something that I've sort of done some domestic flying, but not yet. That was the one thing I wanted to be, was a fighter pilot.
If you could have worked on any film or project in the industry or at any time, what would it be and why?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think for me, I don't think that movie's actually come out yet. I look back and there's films that I really appreciate for cinematography and special. I think the exciting thing about this industry is that like we talked about, Lucasfilm and Star Wars and all that. They were the pioneers. I feel like we're on the cusp of moving into something else, just with the VR, AR, new technology, and all these kind of industries merging together. When I look at games, I look at art viz, I look at visual effects, everything, all the skill sets are moving together. So I'm excited for the future, and I'm excited, with the rapid rise of technology and how we've kind of overcome a lot of the hurdles with simulations and stuff like that. I think the next ones for me that I'm looking forward to are sort of the digi-double, that whole uncanny valley, when that sort of disappears and we don't know what's real and what's not. I think that's going to be a very, very interesting time for film.
Right, because then it'll just be about making whatever story you want, and we can kind of get past the technology and just make the story, and it'll be amazing.
Yeah.
All right. So what, if you could have any dream job in the industry, what would it be?
In the industry, for me, I mean, because I came from like within visual effects, because I came from an artistic background, I think my job as a text artist was my dream job for me.
Yeah.
It meant that I could carry on my sort of traditional and bring that into a computer space, but a lot of the traditional methods that I used still carried across. So it was a nice blend of both sort of worlds for me. I think it sits in the middle of the pipeline. You're neither down the front, neither at the front or at the back where you're getting crunched. And you'll probably talk about that with your students, but texturing sits in a nice spot. It doesn't bottleneck that much. And I think, just even with the software and Substance Painter and Designer and all the rest of the stuff, there's a real evolution of texturing going on at the moment as well, which has been very interesting to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. So, all right, well, I don't want to take too much more of your time. So, Alwyn Hunt, thank you so much for joining us today. You're the co-founder of The Rookies. We'll put the link down below this video so you all can check it out yourself, and I highly recommend it because it's perfect for TDU students. It's perfect for the time period that you all are in, and I would love for you to take advantage of the services that Alwyn and his team offer. So, Alwyn, thank you very much again for joining us.
You're welcome. Thank you very much for having me on.
All right. Thank you.
Cheers.
That was Alwyn Hunt. Katerina asks if groups applying would be judged the same as individuals. I believe so. I know that the hybrids group won an award through them last year. So, and there are a group of 5 artists. So I would assume that it's all fine. I think it's all the same, but let me ask them and I will get back to you. I'll post the response here. And then additionally, I just wanted to announce that next week we will be doing another interview. This one will be live, so no technical issues, I hope. It'll be with Dorian Gunnels. Dorian is a lighter that I had the pleasure of working with here at Blue Sky. He's also worked at Pixar and DreamWorks, and he's going to be offering us some insights into his upbringing and how he got into the industry. I want to talk to him specifically about Incredibles 2 because they have some very specific workflow stuff on there that I haven't seen in the industry before. And so we're going to get into that with him. So until then, we will see you all later, and I will talk to you soon. All right, guys, and go light that Lego set. Happy lighting. Bye.